Hey guys, it's me again with another review. Today we're going to be talking about the Playmates Humungosaur figure. This one was literally been the pinnacle of my entire toy collection, but I finally managed to find one that was within, the right price range, and so yeah, we're gonna review this thing. Let's take a look at the packaging. So here it says Humungosaur. You have a picture of Humungosaur on the bottom of the box. It says it comes with a bonus code for the app Ben 10 Heroes. I actually have this app, so hopefully later on the video we might be able to I might do a screencast on my phone of me putting this code into the game and seeing what we unlock. So it comes with a bio. Heroes don't come much bigger than Humungosaur. Ben's out of this world dino battler. Humungosaur not only packs a mean punch, he can also slam down his long spiked tail to send sonic shockwaves to unsuspecting supervillains. These bolts blindside baddies with booming blast of sound that quakes everything in its path. Basically, in the show now, Humungosaur basically has like a ball spiked tail now that when he slams it down, it creates sonic shockwaves. Not really, his design kind of reminds me of Ultimate Humungosaur in Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, since that one had a design, but the whole ball spike thing wasn't as utilized as creatively as it was in this show. And I kind of appreciated that for innovating there, because it kind of gives Humungosaur a bit more uniqueness than other than just this big hulking dinosaur thing that punches stuff. So yeah, let's with all that out of the way, let's get this guy out of the package and see what he's about. I'll be back soon. So guys, if I sound like I'm a little down or something, I had some stuff going on and it's kind of early and stuff going on and stuff. So if my voice sounds a little monotone, that's why. You can also notice that I've also shed some light into my room, so you can really appreciate the paint apps with this figure. But yeah, here's Humungosaur out of the packaging, looking very dynamic. I'm getting this guy felt weird to pose at first. Like, I don't know. Maybe because he's stiff, he's new, so he's kind of stiff. Before I go into much about the figure, let's talk about this. So, this is the code card that came with the Ben 10 Heroes app they were talking about in the on the packaging. Now, just some things to know about. This is basically like a superhero app game. It's like a little game on the iOS for like kids and anyone else who likes Ben 10. They want a Ben 10 game. It's free in the Apple App Store, and it's basically got the story plot where you basically can like unlock aliens and battle enemies, and it's kind of like and it has this Candy Crush kind of theme. We have to match shapes in order to attack enemies, but I found it at least to be really addictive. I beat the game, by the way. Like, I think the game is still updating because they have, ironically enough, they don't have the two aliens that they're missing right now is Humungosaur and Slapback, and the game goes through updates, so I'm wondering if they're still trying to in the process of developing those sprites for the game, but because of like the current circumstances. But okay, so now we're done with that, let's get back to Humungosaur. This is what you guys came to see. So when I first saw this figure like on thing, I was like, this thing looks disgusting. And the reason I said that was because, to me personally, he doesn't look like, I don't know, hold on. Like, I guess they did capture his likeness when I think about it now. Maybe I'm being a bit too hard on the figure, but I don't know. I grew up with the original Ben 10, so seeing Humungosaur ratified in the way he was in the show was kind of a jump, even though I am grateful that they decided to bring him back into the Ben 10 universe since he was such an iconic hero in the show. This is kind of an improvement based on what we had when Humungosaur first came out in the original series. Back then, Humungosaur was designed pretty nicely, but the issue was Bandai basically had like 4-inch model figures. So we had this guy like Humungosaur, but he was the size of Ben Tennyson. And along with that, articulation with these guys was very limited. Whereas we've seen that Playmates kind of innovated a bit with this, also while giving us a bigger packaged figure that actually reflects the way these characters are in the show. And so I realized that despite looks, Humungosaur pretty much has a down package, and I'd have to be an idiot not to take advantage of the way of that and add them to my collection. The paint apps for this Humungosaur aren't half bad. My only issue is that in the show they decided to give him spikes on the back of his tail. The original one didn't have that, and it goes to the spikes here. Now these spikes are actually like gray and black, but for some reason they just cheaped it off and then just kept them with the body color paint with the mold. I appreciate the way they had these detailed, because the reboot has a way of like detailing just about everything, so it doesn't look all plasticky and cheap when they're in the show. And I like the way Playmates translated that and detailed into their figures when molding them. My only issue is that with sometimes, even with figures like Forearms and Diamond Head and other past figures, they get the mold detailing right, but then they just don't paint it. The face is this is really what struck me when I saw this Humungosaur. It looks like him in the show, but at the same time, that's kind of the problem. I don't know. Otherwise, though, the paint sculpt and the portions are pretty well done. Again, detailing along the arms, the skin, the muscles and abdomen. Before we go into articulation, just one more thing. This tail is actually removable. Like, I don't really want to take it out again because of how much trouble it was to get it on in the first place. You know, I'll just leave it on. It's kind of poorly designed in my opinion, but you know. Yeah, you can see the picture right there which says snap-on tail, so that's proof that what I'm saying is right. So now let's talk about articulation wise. If you've been seeing me pose this thing for a while, we've already gotten some stuff right down. Based on the way we had him designed, I had him pose in the beginning of the video. It's clear he already has 360 articulation. It kind of goes like that just because of the way his head's positioned, the kind of head he has. Arms move up and down, and we have bicep swivel, lower bicep swivel here with his arm, and then I hate this with all these figures. You see this? Look at this. So basically what I'm talking about is this issue here where the arm wants to go more, but it can't because the way this is designed is keeping it from going out of the way. And this would be dismissible, but I've noticed so many of the Ben 10 Playmates figures have this design flaw. And I get it's because they're trying to maintain show accuracy, but at the same time, it's also inhibiting posability potential. Moving right along, it has wrist rotation, but the wrists are very tight. I think that's just my figure, and it's just gonna loosen up after wear and tear. See, there we go again. I don't know how to pose this. This figure is kind of weirdly made, you know? Not that it's a letdown, because I do like the way it feels. Waist rotation. Legs come out a very decent amount, and they go back a decent amount. And we have knees, and then leg swivel. And again, as we showed you before, the tail does rotate. So overall, it's a nice figure. I'd have to get, if I were to rate this figure, probably a 7 out of 10. Me personally, if I had to choose, I'd probably buy this figure for play, not really for collecting, you know? This figure seems more like it would be better used for a kid who has a one-track mindset for something like this versus a collector who probably has more than one thing he wants to do with this, and he's struggling for like 6 hours trying to figure out how to get this thing to do what it's supposed to do, because the design property on this thing is, again, very inconsistent. Other than that, I am pretty happy to have this figure. I definitely am going to paint these values here black with, and like sand them down and like paint them over so it looks more accurate. I can't. This kind of looks like, it almost looks like a McDonald's figure, which is kind of an insult. So yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later.